Okay, so let's see if I can demonstrate what I'm talking about. On the X poles that have the X lock, the whole idea of wiggling this in order to get these things to sit flush makes sense only when it's on static, but a lot of the X locks still allow a little bit of wiggle. So in order to take the X lock out of the equation when tightening these, to make sure that there is no wiggle that most people have just accepted even before this. So to demonstrate, I'm going to loosen one of these. Actually, I'm going to loosen all of them. And so now there's a little bit of turn. You can sort of see it on reference of the screw. So to make sure that any and all of these screws end up flat, so the screws have like a flat surface, and then they're supposed to meet a flat surface. And if you don't do that right, they can actually be off center, and so they're sort of like punching in. And then as soon as you do like a static spin, it can do this, and there's a little bit of movement, and that's where you get the wiggle from. So in order to eliminate that wiggle, we just make sure that all of the screws are exactly flat against the flat surface that they're intended to go against before we put any tightness to them. The only reference we have for that is the feeling of it, because we can't see the flat surface. So, and normally you would have a longer one of these, but this is the one I have right now. Using the short end on one of these, I'm just gonna do that with one hand and wiggle, and I do that to all three of them. And then let's pretend that there was still wiggle in here, and there's not. I'm going to put the tool in there so that it's sort of like horizontal. Actually, it's probably better that I use this end right here. Let's say like that, right? And then I'm going to wiggle this guy, and the other hand is going to death grip down here, just below the sheath, anywhere between the X lock and the sheath, to hold the relationship here. And now when I wiggle this, if it had wiggle, this could actually move more to tighten it. And the funny way to do that is to add a third hand. So if you don't have a second person to just keep constant pressure on this while you're tightening this, you can use a foot. So I can use my foot here, and I'm keeping constant pressure while I'm wiggling it. And then I repeat that for all three of them. And I can use like my arm here, but it's like, yeah. So I'm just gonna keep using my foot. That's all.